Here are the stories we're covering this week in the Category 5.tv newsroom. Research suggests thousands of websites are being hit by cyber thieves who implant code to scoop up payment card numbers. The no-fly zone for drones around airports is to be extended following the disruption at Gatwick in December. A wake-up call as Quadriga's founder takes $135 million of their customers' cryptocurrency to the grave. And a new AI is able to generate freakishly realistic people who don't actually exist. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Category 5.tv newsroom, covering the week's top tech stories with a slight Linux bias.
Jeff Weston,
Yeah, man.
you're building a brand new, beautiful website,
What?
aren't you?
No. Am I?
Oh, you're a terrible actor.
What?
This is where acting comes into play.
Oh, I didn't know we were acting.
You're supposed to act.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah, I'm building a really cool website. Are you building a really cool website? Just because Jeff is confused doesn't mean you have to be. Visit cat5.tv/dreamhost to sign up for unlimited web hosting for your website with unlimited email accounts, MySQL databases, the latest version of PHP, WordPress, and more, and even a free domain name registration. It's less than $6 per month, so sign up today. cat5.tv/dreamhost.
I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. Research suggests thousands of websites are being hit by cyber thieves who implant code to scoop up payment card numbers. Security giant Symantec found more than 4,800 websites were being hit by these forum jacking attacks every month. High-profile victims of these attacks include British Airways and Ticketmaster. According to Orla Cox, director of Symantec's Security Response Unit, formerly profitable ventures involving ransomware and mining cryptocurrencies now made gangs much less money, so they have instead turned to inserting attack code either when sites fail to update core software to close loopholes or via insecure third-party apps such as chat apps, analytics packages, or other extras. It's a tiny line of code in there, and that's enough for attackers to monitor payment card info being entered in as they siphon it off. Cox goes on to say, quote, "It's not obvious that the website has been compromised. To the naked eye, everything would look fine," end quote. So,
I feel like this is just a digital version of those
card
the faces
readery.
that they put on the
Like the
ATMs and stuff.
dual
Or they do it in
reader.
like the gas pumps.
Yes.
That was a big thing.
This
Yeah.
is such an
Yeah.
easy thing to accomplish from a coding standpoint, and I hope that people understand that if you launch a WordPress blog and then you install a whole bunch of plugins that sound cool,
Yeah.
this happens. I'm just going to give you a scenario. So, this is a really cool slider that
Right.
makes my images slide like a nice slideshow.
Right.
Just to, it looks
And takes your
cool,
money.
and it's free. Okay? Remember that. So then what happens is some malicious party finds these really cool sliders that are free
Yeah.
and says, hey, I'll give you $1,000 to sell me that program so that it can now be my program that I'll maintain it. I will take over the project.
Right.
It's like little small business transactions of like coders who I developed a really cool plugin for WordPress, and wow, Mom
wants to pay me for it.
Somebody wants to
Yeah.
pay me $1,000 for the program that I made in my bedroom.
Yeah. Hot
Quite
diggity dog.
possibly,
There we
right?
go.
That's a very legitimate scenario. So then this party who has now purchased it injects code into the plugin. Then they upload that to the repository. WordPress, which you have installed with that plugin, now says, oh, there's an update. Install updates, because we know to install our updates, right? So now this code is injected into our website, our WordPress website, just to use that as the example. This is why WordPress websites, you hear about a lot of them getting compromised.
Yeah.
Right.
And then people start to say, oh, well, WordPress is not safe. No, it's the practice of the administrators that is not safe. I have folks who say to me, I want administrator access to my WordPress site. And I say, why do you want that? Oh, well, because I want to be able to have control over my site if your business goes under or whatever.
Right.
Hold on one second. How much do you know, and what is it you're going to be putting in? Like, you have to be realistic here. You've got to understand the risks. It's not a WordPress problem. It's a user problem. I'm not going to give you administrator access. You can take that hosting elsewhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just too dangerous for you. And that's why our local church website got hacked and turned into an ISIS website.
Yes, I remember that.
This happens because they are clueless about security, and yet they're trying to save a buck, and so we've installed WordPress, and somebody who doesn't actually understand security is the one who's administering it.
Right.
That's the risk. So now this plugin is installed, and we're doing sales on our website, or we're collecting contact information, emails, and things like that. And all they're doing is transparently, you don't even know what's happening. If someone enters their credit card number, it's sending a copy to you for the payment, and it's sending a copy to the malicious party as well.
Right.
That's it. You don't even know what's happening.
Now, would using third-party services like, say, Dashlane or something where you can have your payment, cards in your program that automatically fills it in, would that be more secure, or does the form still read that information?
It's not at all. That's not this problem.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
This is form injection. So this is taking a form that is being submitted on a website, collecting the data before it sends it to the actual processor.
Right. Okay.
So your question was, does it help if I, as the administrator, well, let's say I use PayPal as my payment processor, or
Right.
as the administrator, I allow, maybe I use Moneris, and I'm a big business. Well,
Right.
it doesn't matter, because that information has to be transmitted to Moneris in order to get the charge to happen.
Right.
And then it comes back with a it passed, or no, it was declined. Now in that case though, maybe it's a different process, because it's like OAuth, and the transaction details are never exposed. PayPal, same thing. You don't actually get my credit card number if you process my transaction with PayPal. So it's a different thing. However, they could receive my PayPal user credentials. Theoretically,
right, because it's on a form.
Because it's being transmitted through the form.
Right.
They wouldn't get my credit card number, so it's a little bit of a different scenario.
But still.
But any data that's transmitted can be intercepted by these types of infiltrations. And part of it is that we've learned that a site needs to be secure. So the injection has to occur on the actual server. It can't occur out on some other server that's been compromised, and then, hey, it's communicating back and forth. No, it has to happen on the actual server that's hosting the website, because that's the security certificate. So it happens completely transparently.
Aye.
Back to paper forms.
So be careful.
That's right.
Well, I think it boils down to what I've been saying on the. It's come up a couple of times on our new endpointsecurity.ca podcast, where Tony Anscombe and even Stephen Cobb had reiterated that we need to be very mindful, and Tony really talked about this, that when we are shopping online, as an example, we need to know that we trust the people that we are purchasing from, especially if we're going to be saving our data for the next transaction.
That's right.
Yes.
So Amazon memorizes my credit card because I'm shopping there all the time. I don't want to have to enter it every time. But another store where I maybe shop once a year, twice a year, I don't need to have them memorize my credit card number, because I'm only opening myself up to be exploited if they come under compromise. So just be mindful of all these things. We've learned so much in this moment of news.
On to the next moment.
Yes.
The no-fly zone for drones around airports is to be extended following the disruption at Gatwick in December. From March 13th onward, it will be illegal to fly a drone within 3 miles of an airport rather than the current 0.6 mile exclusion zone. The government also said it wants police to have new stop and search powers to tackle drone misuse. Gatwick Airport was shut down for more than a day due to drone sightings near the runway. It caused chaos for travelers, affecting more than 1,000 flights and about 140,000 passengers.
Wow.
Since then, airports have been trying to improve their procedures to detect drones, but they continue to see illegal flights near their perimeters. In January, departures at Heathrow were temporarily stopped after a drone was reportedly sighted. Transport Secretary Chris Grayling said, quote, "The law is clear that flying a drone near an airport is a serious criminal act." flight. He continues, "We are now going even further and extending the no-fly zone to help keep our airports secure and our skies safe. Anyone flying their drone within the vicinity of an airport should know that they are not only acting irresponsibly, but criminally, and could face imprisonment." End quote.
I have no issue with this.
This makes sense
No,
to
no,
me.
absolutely. Well, 3 miles is a lot of distance, though. And
It is, but when
it's a shame that they've had to take this step.
But I mean, you figure how high drones can go, and if you've got a
Yeah.
major plane that's coming in, I mean, that trajectory is not. It's not like they're helicopter drop.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they're coming in, and to go 3 miles out, you're going to need it.
Right.
So I have no issue with this. I think it's good, and it's unfortunate that people are so careless.
I think it boils down to the people. The only reason that I have a little bit of a different view is that my sister used to live fairly close, within 3 miles of an airport, nowhere near the fly zone. Like there were no airplanes going right over her house or anything. But I used to fly around the field in her yard because she had a big yard. And
Right.
and I thought, well, that's within 3 miles of the airport, so you would not be able to fly in your field here because it's a no-fly zone at this point. So there's kind of two sides to it, but people need to be smart.
I remember when we heard about these drones a long time ago, I had the idea, why don't they come up with some sort of scrambler or something that would just knock it out
Well,
of
it'd
the sky?
knock
And
the
then you
airplane out of the
said
sky.
it would knock the airplane out of the sky. Well, would this distance be far enough away from the planes that you could knock the drones out of the sky? That's the question.
747, you need to get about 10 feet higher, otherwise you're going to hit the wall.
I don't know. I just
part
feel
of the
like
issue, I think, is the fact that, I mean, you've got drone makers from all over the world, and at the end of the day, they're not regulated on how they make them. So it's not like you could say, based on regulations, you have to put, this script within there.
There are. My drone cannot fly above the to the no-fly limit.
Right,
The GPS signal will stop it. It's like hitting a wall. It's an amazing feeling. As
is
soon as you
great.
get there, the drone just is like, zzz, and
Done.
it just stops.
Right.
You can't go any higher, and all you can do is bring it down about 50 feet and then fly. That's it. So
But yours has that program. Not all
it
of
does.
them do.
And as soon as you enforce that in every drone, people are going to be snipping the wire.
right.
That's exactly what you know is going to happen.
Yeah,
E-bikes came out. E-bikes came out, and people started removing the governors.
Yes. People are boundary pushers by nature. So
Yeah.
this is why it becomes a criminal offense now instead of just, hey, we had a policy. Now
Well,
it's like,
But they can never find the individuals.
Right.
Again, I mean, man, we have some really good information on the endpointsecurity.ca podcast. Because Stephen Cobb was saying, that, part of the issue with cybercrime is people know that they are probably not going to get caught.
Correct.
How is a Russian hacker on Russian soil going to get caught when he's hacking an American server? It's not going to happen. And even if he's caught, he's not going to be arrested or anything.
Right.
It's not going to happen unless he leaves the country. So similarly, a drone, they still haven't found the person or persons responsible for shutting down the airport.
and they won't.
And they won't.
No.
They put up a 50,000 pound reward for anyone with information, and nobody's come forward. Nobody has that information because it's just a drone flying around.
How close do you have to be to the drone in order to fly it? Like, could you not remote into your
a kilometer,
remote?
couple kilometers.
Could you remote into your remote to fly your drone?
You
could
don't
you be
need
like
to.
one step?
These days,
even-
you can just use a headset and you can fly it as far
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
want, and as
Yeah.
long as it's within range, a couple kilometers or so.
Yeah.
Remember
But
when
then you can
laser
see from the
pointers
camera.
Used to be the issue for planes.
Yeah.
That'll be drones with laser pointers.
It was
on
Christmas
them.
lights just a couple of months ago.
That's right.
A wake-up call as Quadriga's founder takes $135 million of their customers' cryptocurrency to the grave. When the 30-year-old founder of a Canadian cryptocurrency exchange died suddenly, he took around $180 million Canadian in cryptocurrency to his grave. Now, tens of thousands of Quadriga CX users are wondering if they will ever see their funds again. Back in 2014, one of the world's biggest online cryptocurrency exchanges, Mt. Gox, unexpectedly shut down after losing 850,000 bitcoins valued at the time at nearly $0.4 billion. Its meltdown shook investors in the volatile emerging marketplace, but the calamity at the Tokyo-based company proved a boon for a new Canadian online cryptocurrency exchange. Quadriga CX founder Gerald Cotton said at the time, "People like the fact that we're located in Canada and know where their money is going." Some 5 years later, Cotton's sudden, untimely death has left thousands of his customers scrambling for information about their own missing funds. This month, Quadriga, which had grown to become Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange, was granted temporary bankruptcy protection in a Canadian court. The firm said it had spent the week since Cotton's death trying desperately to locate and secure their cryptocurrency reserves. In court documents, Quadriga says it owes up to $115,000, an estimated $250 million Canadian, about $70 million in hard currency, and about $180 and $190 million in cryptocurrency based on recent market rates. It believes, though it is not certain, that the bulk of those millions in reserves was locked away by Cotton in cold storage, which is an offline safeguard against hacking and theft. For now, all trading has been suspended on the platform.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, anybody want to trade on there?
No.
Okay, so but if it's a registered exchange, now granted, I don't know if it falls under the exchange rules as far as like the stock market goes, but it's a company. Would somebody not have had authoritative powers to take over all those accounts?
It doesn't work that way. It's cryptocurrency. So he had presumably he had the keys.
Yeah, he had
the private keys.
Right, but then who gets access to his estate? Like this should be.
He was 30, so he didn't think of that. I bet.
Yeah, maybe.
He was 30.
We'll know in the next couple of
He was
months.
a Canadian
We'll
30-year-old.
start
I feel like he
but see-
probably thought he had another 50 years easy.
But
just starting up.
I would think if you're going to have a company that at one point had $0.4 billion in cryptocurrency, you'd have some sort of lawyer and backing behind you and some sort of
If
legal
you
framework.
had a friend named Jeff at the time when you were starting that, you might have thought of that. But if you were just a guy that was taking advantage of the fact that he had a great idea and that the other, Tokyo-based company had problems, then you just have an idea, you run with it. And then all of a sudden, you meet an untimely end, and your people now are scrambling, probably trying every cold storage area in Canada.
I feel like it's got to be
no, it's not
somewhere.
it's not a physical space,
Oh.
Sasha.
Oh.
This is cold storage crypto.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this means without,
mean he
without the
doesn't have-
keys,
In my mind, it's like that time when that computer ended up in the dump. Remember that,
Yeah.
right? So I
Sure.
pictured that it was that hard.
let's use this as an example.
Okay.
So we've got a DT2000 from Kingston.
Yes.
It has a passcode key lock.
Yes.
I set the password on this and I put all my files on this. Pretend that these files are the cryptocurrency keys
Right.
for thousands of customers. Okay? So this basically is the access to their money. Without this, you cannot gain access to that money.
Right.
Now, you can punch in your code, you can try to guess my code 10 times and then it wipes itself.
Right.
Everything's gone from this drive.
Right.
Okay? He had the keys
Yeah.
and he died unexpectedly. So he made a stupid decision, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional to take anybody's money.
No, he thought he was being wise to get it into cold storage, which is to
Right.
make it inaccessible
Yeah.
by hackers. And it's a tough call because if you're going to trade in cryptocurrency, you need to have your own cold storage. You need to have your own, they call it an offline wallet. It's a wallet that is not accessible by anyone other than you.
Right.
Keep your keys somewhere safe.
I've got them on paper.
And
There you
this
go.
is Not
And on paper, your wife can find them if something happened to
That's
you.
right.
cryptocurrency isn't insured in any way, is it? Yeah, like the Canadian banking system,
It's
right?
too-
This,
how do you prove?
Exactly.
How do you prove your cryptocurrency if it went missing? You can't. It's impossible. That's the whole point. So it's just one of the so because because this is an exchange, it's different. This is not a bank. A bank, you put your money in and you trust that your money's safe.
Right.
This is not that. This is an exchange. This is where I put my money in order to exchange it
To other
to
things.
other currencies, to other,
Right.
right? So you hear about the value of Bitcoin and you think, well, how do you actually monetize that? I can't walk into a store and buy something with Bitcoin. No, so you put that Bitcoin on an exchange, convert it into Ethereum, convert it into Litecoin, and convert it into US dollars.
Right.
But it has to enter the exchange in order to happen.
Yeah.
So that's why people put their currency in there.
It's unfortunate.
Unfortunately, some people leave their currency in there, not ever really making the wise decision to move it into a paper wallet or an offline wallet.
It truly is unfortunate that this happened. Because at the end of the day, the idea is a great idea, but because the security and the succession planning wasn't thought out as a company, people are now getting screwed, unfortunately.
Big
but
It's a really tough thing.
yeah,
And if
but
I
it's
have
gonna
paper
go
wallets,
bad. Like it's
and-
going to set a bad image for cryptocurrencies because people are like, oh, I lost my money. But at the end of the day, that's not the issue. The issue is this guy's.
no, you wanted safe
Yeah.
currency. You wanted a currency that cannot be traced.
Right.
So this is the side effect of that if something goes wrong.
That's right.
But the really crummy thing is that people can't get that money back. It's a tragedy, really.
Is there any way
in
to
so many ways?
like pull those transactions through the Blockcoin to rebuild it? Or
Through the blockchain?
through a blockchain, I mean?
No.
No?
You have to have the keys.
Right.
He
and-
has the keys.
And just a final thought, not to be ominous or anything, but you think, okay, well, why don't you just have a paper wallet? Why didn't he just have the keys printed and stored in a safe or something? And one of the things that's also happening with these kinds of folks, so the people who are responsible for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency exchanges, is that they are now targets.
Sure.
Because if I know that somebody has that kind of currency and it's untraceable, and I know that they store the keys in their vault instead of in their head,
Then I want in
then
their vault.
I want in their
Right.
vault at all costs, because as soon as I have those keys, I have all of that currency, and there is no tracing that transaction.
That's right. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to some lighter news.
Yeah, okay.
A new AI is able to generate freakishly realistic people who don't actually exist. At first glance, they just look like average-looking people. The catch is, none of them exist. All these faces that you're seeing are fakes, put together by artificial intelligence. To be more precise, these faces are created by a generative adversarial network, or GAN, developed by NVIDIA using deep learning techniques to produce realistic portraits out of a database of existing photos. Head over to thispersondoesnotexist.com to see for yourself. Every time you refresh the page, the network will generate a new facial image from scratch. With, again, two neural networks, neural as in designed to mimic the brain's decision-making process, work in tandem. Here, one network generates a fake face, while another decides if it's realistic enough by comparing it with photos of actual people. If the test isn't passed, the face generator tries again. This feedback loop is responsible for the images you can see here. Similar GANs have been used to switch a scene from winter to summer. NVIDIA's impressive face coding is now managing to add a new level of authenticity through what's known as style transfer, processing different parts of the image, like face shape and hairstyle, separately. It means different faces can be more easily and more realistically blended together in a similar sort of way that photo apps turn your face into a painting or a sketch. After training, the programmers can combine these aspects in any way they like. The weighting of these different facial aspects can be tweaked and adjusted as necessary, giving the programmers greater control over the end output.
That is incredible.
I know, it is freaky how realistic these faces are.
They are.
Have you seen derp fakes? Like, they can make faces look like they're saying stuff or singing or whatever.
Yeah.
So take this, blend it with that, and suddenly you've got actors that don't exist.
Well, and that's it. I mean, when I first saw this, I was pulling it up, and my wife's like, "What are you doing? Like, you're looking at random people." I'm like, "They're not people."
So use this as your
What?
Use these as your avatar.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Well,
Except then Facebook is like, send me your picture to prove that it's you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, though, not all of the pictures were great. There was a few that came through, and when I looked at them, I'm going, there's something odd about this. And I think it's it's a matter of learning to, kind of figure it out. But in general, they looked really, really
A lot of them. A lot
accurate.
of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's true. It's like the little imperfections, like the smile lines around the eyes or the crooked teeth. It's like those sorts of things that make you feel, okay, this is an authentic person, not an AI-generated, perfect, symmetrical being. Like nobody is...
It's incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's
Just
pretty
awesome.
wild. But I mean, at the same time, it makes you go, now can I trust anybody
Ever.
his image online? It's like,
Yeah.
like, could you turn around and create, a whole story about somebody and have pictures and create this fake, like, you've got these fake Facebook profiles that are all about stealing your friend lists and stuff.
I'm thinking about the real positive aspects of it, though. You're thinking that let's get into the negative. No, think about this: a game in virtual reality with your headset. So. That is able to, upon launch, generate all of the characters that look like real people, and everybody has never been seen before, and they're not even real people. But they look incredibly real. Because the AI could take that and form it onto a model.
Right.
So now just add 3 dimensions to the photo.
It's so
turn it
super
into-
cool. And then do it in VR. And
In VR,
Yeah.
interact with these people. Kids' games these days, they generate avatars upon launch, and it's all it's a different avatar every time, but they're video game quality. Now take it to the next level, make them look really real.
Now,
That's
I wonder,
crazy.
though, what would happen if somebody used that image and there happened to be a real physical...
Your doppelganger.
I was just thinking that. Like, what if I
Your
click it
AI
enough time and
doppelganger.
then all of a sudden it's like it looks like somebody who kind of looks like me, or
You'd have to hit refresh a lot
like
of times.
that. Yeah, but it would be freaky.
That
like
would be. Yeah.
like not only am I no longer like an individual, but I'm like copied by, and it's an AI person.
Yeah.
Well, see, then you just look and you go, am I really real?
Let's put together like a wanted poster.
Sure.
With and just every week change the photo to one of these automatically NVIDIA AI generated photos. See how many calls you get.
Or like employee of the month. Let's just do it as employee of
There
the
you
month.
go.
Okay.
Brilliant. We're going to put that up behind us every
excellent.
week. All right, let's get over to CoinGecko. Here's what the crypto market looked like as of 1800 hours Eastern Time on Wednesday, February 20th, 2019. Bitcoin is up, gaining $353.60 US, doing very well at $3,958.86. Litecoin is also up, gaining about $10, just $9.52 US at 51.10. Ethereum is also up, 146.94. Gained $25.37 since last week. Monero is rising slowly at 51.24. And the small guys have gone down just a little bit. Stellite is down at 1.59 ten-thousandths of a cent, and Turtlecoin at 0.82. Remember that the cryptocurrency market never closes and is always volatile.
Big thanks to Roy W. Nash and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category 5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And for more free content, be sure to check out our website. From the Category 5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Rickman.
And I'm Robbie Ferguson.
And I'm Jeff Weston.
Thank you so much for being here with us again this week. Looking forward to next week. Same place, same time. See you then.
Get your light to turn it on.
That's right.